Hello everyone and welcome to Chavela's Kitchen. It's been a while, but here we are again. Today I'm going to try to show you how I make pozole. So this is my way of doing it, and I know there's lots of ways, so you can add what you like best and watch what I use, and I'll be showing you in different parts because it's kind of a process. So here we go. I have some meat. First of all, we have pork. We have neck bones, pork neck bones, and we have some pork butt. I washed it, I cut it. This was a big piece, and it's a bone in, so we have this big chunk of bone in there, and that's what makes pozole good. So make sure you add bones to your pozole. To the pozole, to the pork meat, I also use chicken. So here we have a whole chicken cut up, and what I do is I cook it separate in 2 different pots because chicken takes less time to cook. Then I will be mixing both soups and add all my spices and my sauce, my chili sauce, which I'll show you how I make it. So I'm gonna put this into my hot boiling water over here. It might be a lot of meat, but I always make a lot of pozole, so it's up to you. I'm going to show you a picture of the amounts that I used so you can kind of get an idea of how much you want to make. I never have leftover pozole, so I always make a big pot. This might be a lot of meat, but it cooks down, and you could also separate some of this and use it for something else, from like some carne con chile or some other pork dish before cooking it, so you don't have to use the whole big roast. And what I add is I add a big chunk of garlic. I add a half an onion, and I also add, I'm going to wash my hands. I have some bay leaves. I'm going to add maybe, they're broken up, so different pieces, like 5 or 6 pieces of bay leaf. And I also add oregano, but I'm not going to add the oregano yet, so I'll just show you how much I use. This is about the amount I use, about a tablespoon maybe, so I'll reserve this for later. And then for my chicken soup, I also have that going, even though I'm going to turn it off sooner than the pork. Pork takes about a good hour and a half, 2 hours. So I'm adding my cut up chicken to water because I want a good soup. And I might not use all the chicken, but I like to cook it so that I can reserve some of it for something else. And for that too, I'm going to add half an onion, garlic, the other half of the garlic, and we'll watch this cook. I'm also going to add salt. So at this time, I'm adding plenty of salt. And we'll watch it cook, and we'll be back. Be back in a little bit. Pork neck bones, 6-pound pork butt, trim off the fat, and 1 whole chicken. Okay, so now I'm going to prepare the sauce for my pozole. And I wanted to let you know about the chiles that I use. I must have in my pantry chiles anchos, which is this one, the dry chili pods. And the other one is chile guajillo, which is this one. And also chile árbol, which is this little one. And this one is really hot, but we use it for different salsas. And if you have these two kind of chiles, and you have garlic, a little bit of comino, you have a sauce that you can use to season your pozole, you have a sauce for enchiladas, you have a sauce for barbacoa, for different Mexican recipes. So right now I'm just going to show you the base for some of these sauces. If I have some of this sauce for my pozole and there's some left over, I can use it to make enchiladas. And so that's why sometimes I make more than what I need so that I can reserve some for later. So what I did is I have about 18 chiles guajillos. I cleaned them, took out the seeds, and this is what I do. I just open them up, take out the seeds, any seeds or any veins. Supposedly the veins make it a little bit hotter, but I don't mind them. And then the chile ancho, which of course you can buy all these chiles at your favorite Mexican grocery store and have them on hand for whenever you feel like having some Mexican food, or for a special occasion. Usually that's what we use these kind of preparations for, to make our special birthday meals. That's what I'm making today, some pozole for my granddaughter's golden birthday. She's 17. So here we go. We clean these up, and I'm going to rinse them. I'm going to put them in a pot with water so they boil, and then I'm going to blend them, and I'll show you when it's ready how I blend them or what to do next. Okay? I'm going to show you how I make a salsa to go with my pozole, and it's a salsa with chile árbol, which is this one. And I don't know, I have about a good cup, handful and a half, and I'm going to put these in water. I don't take the seeds out, so it's very picoso. And I'm using tomatillos, and I'm picky about tomatillos. See this little thing right there? I'm picky. I like to cut it out, because when I blend it, I don't like it to be whole anywhere. So I take this out. That's just me. You don't have to do it. And this is what tomatillos look like before you peel them. You peel them, you wash them. They're going to be a little bit kind of sticky, so you take this whole thing off, and this is what you use. So I washed all these. I took the little stems out, and I'm going to put them in my water. I have 1 clove of garlic, and I'm going to boil these till they get softened up, maybe about 10 minutes or a little bit a hard boil, so that they change colors, and the chiles are going to soften because they're they're dry. So we'll be back and I'll show you when I blend the sauce. Okay, so we're going to blend our chiles to make our sauce. I have my chiles already cooked. If you can see, they're boiled, they're soft, and I let them cool down a little bit so they're not so hot. Just put the chiles in your blender. So these are the chiles guajillo and the chile ancho. I'm going to use a little bit of the water. And I am going to add cominos, just a half a teaspoon of cominos. And there's like 4 cloves of garlic. I have salt, about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So I'm going to blend this, and I have to cover this because my the cat broke, so I have to cover this so it doesn't bleed out. I'm adding more water to this. I'm adding water because it's a little bit thick. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to strain it through this because I don't want all the peels in my sauce. We want to strain this and get all the good chili out. And I'll be back. So I wanted to show you, this is what you don't want in your sauce. That's why we run it through the colanders to get all this out. So I can blend it more in my bullet and get a little bit more sauce out of it. But I heard one of the chefs say that they use this, they dry it out in the oven, and then they can use it for a rub, like if you're making a barbecue sauce or something like that, some fajitas or some bistec, you can rub it with some of this, but I would still blend it some more. And this is what the sauce looks like. It's all kind of mole-like, nice and thick. Be back. Remember our chiles for my salsa that I'm making to go with the pozole. This is not to go inside the pozole, but it's on the side. So here's my chiles, the chile árbol and the tomatillo. And I'm gonna blend it in the blender. I'm dumping out some of the water because tomatillos have a lot of liquid, so you don't need a lot of water. I'm gonna have the garlic, chiles, tomatillo. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt, a little more. This salsa is hot, so beware when you eat it. You can add more tomatillos, or you can take away chiles. You don't have to have this many chiles if you don't like it that hot. You can just have 4 or 5 chiles to 1 or 2 tomatillos if they're big like this. So it's really up to your own taste if you like them hot or not. And we usually have chips or tostadas to go with this salsa, so we can dip it. Here it is, nice and hot. So I'm ready to show you my meats. My meats are cooked. There's the chicken, the pork, and now I'm going to mix the soups and add my chile and my hominy. And corn, which is what the kids like the best. So I'm taking out the chicken. I'm gonna take it out and shred it and put some of it back in. So the chicken was done before the pork. Maybe it took about, let's see, about 2 hours altogether. And the chicken was done in about an hour. I might have let it cook a little bit too overdone, but it's okay. So there's my chicken. I'm gonna set it aside. And then what I do is I have a little pan here, and I'm gonna take some of the chicken. Oh, first I wanna dish out the head of garlic. I see it right here. Remember I put a big old head of garlic in it? I don't want this. So I'm taking this out. And I think I already got the one from here. Got that. Just throwing that out. Now I'm going to mix my soup with the pork. And then because it's not going to fit in the one pot, what I do is now I mix this, and I'm taking some of the meat and the chicken out. So here's some of the pork into the pot where the chicken was cooked. I suppose I could have added the chile in the one pot and then mixed it. But, okay, so here's my sauce. I'm going to add my sauce to the chili, to the soups. And how much? It all depends on how red you like it, how spicy you like it. So you'll just have to play with it till you get to the flavor you like. And I'm putting some in the chicken pot too, so that now they're gonna both boil again until this flavor is boiled and we get what we like. So now we're just gonna let it boil, and I'll add this now too. So the corn, the hominy, you just add and you let it boil with the chile already in there, the sauce. And that's all there is to it. So you want to taste it too to see if you need any more salt or well, just salt. And I already added the oregano that I had told you before, so it has that oregano flavor in there too. I usually use 2 of these cans, but I didn't make as much pozole, so I'm just using 1 can. But I do have 2 smaller cans on standby just in case we run out of the corn, because that's what the kids and everybody likes the best. They'll dig for the corn. So now we'll just let it boil, and I'll be back with the end results. Okay, here we go. This is our end result. The pozole is done. And since it's my granddaughter's birthday, she gets to do the taste test. And here are all the toppings. So she'll pick what she likes. This is Isela. All right, pick what you like. Like everything? Yeah, the more the better. So I hope you try it, friends and family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. All right, she said yes. Bye.